energy. The free energy from the sun is a powerful and superabundant resource that can be harnessed for various purposes, including electricity generation and heat. This clean, renewable energy source is becoming increasingly popular. Its cost-effectiveness and environmental benefits outweigh those of nuclear power, coal, and fossil fuel-fed power plants. Out of 113 million Filipinos, if each of the 10 million homes has at least a 300-watt capacity, this will total to 3 gigawatts. Then, if each roof has 600 watts, this will total to 6 gigawatts during daytime. This is a super huge savings in electricity bills for 10 million Filipino families who may own rooftop solar power. Prices of solar system components are in a downward trend. In 2009, the cost of a 300-watt solar panel made by British Petroleum was 76,000 pesos. Today, an 800-watt panel from Temu costs 1,488 pesos. Some online companies even sell it at a much lower price. However, it is prudent to consider first the quality, the manufacturer's reputation and track record, including warranty, which ideally is from 10 to 20 years. This will protect your investment from possible defects and fire. The increasing demand for PV panels will further reduce the cost until it becomes affordable to everyone. Solar energy can help improve the fuel efficiency of vehicles. Solar energy can also power mass transit systems, LRT, MRT, BRT, PNR, including bus terminals for lower fares. This will help mitigate the traffic menace. Solar panels can be installed directly above the catenary of the LRT and MRT systems. The extra energy produced can reduce their operating costs. Then, the fare rates can be reduced to entice commuters and motorists to take mass transit systems. This can result in a reduction of travel time within Metro Manila. In 2025, BYD is the leading electric car manufacturer globally with an estimated 2.5 million units produced. Tesla is second, with 2.2 million units. Volkswagen Group, General Motors, and Stellantis follow in third, fourth, and fifth place, respectively. More than 20% of new cars sold worldwide were electric. Electric car sales topped 17 million worldwide in 2024, rising by more than 25%. China maintained its lead globally, with electric car sales exceeding 11 million units. In 2025, total passenger electric vehicle sales are projected to exceed 20 million globally, accounting for over 25% of all new vehicle sales worldwide. It is projected that there will be about 29% increase in new EV sales this year.
Okay, so we should encourage this one. The government should encourage gasoline station with solar rooftops, and that means they should provide for a charging station in each of these gasoline stations. Not only you can fill in your fuel, but you should be able also to charge your electric vehicle or electric bike here. Encourage putting parking areas with chargers like these ones on the right side and the left side. And the government should encourage the sale of electric vehicles, no? This is small electric vehicles and even electric bikes and so on. This will increase the consumption of electricity from the grid. And it is just the one that I was explaining earlier, where you could install pair of 300 watts panel and a 300 watts inverter and multiply. So in this slide you would see 300 watts. So the total capacity of this would then be 3,600 watts. Okay, there's only one connection to the nearest convenience outlet in the home. So very simple to do. And you can also do this by selecting an inverter that could match your solar panels, in case you have you bought solar panels that are not of the same specification or the same capacities. Like in this example, this one is 100 watts, this one is 150 watts, and this one is 75 watts. So it's also possible by connecting them in series, but they should not exceed the input voltage of this inverter. Okay, So those who are not we seek to be assisted from a knowledgeable solar individual, especially those who are registered electrical practitioners like master electricians or electrical engineers. And yours truly is very much willing also to assist you. Okay, here is an off-grid. If we had a grid tie earlier, this is a grid, meaning to say it operates independently from the utility, meaning connected to the utility. What is being provided usually in this setup is a transfer switch. In case you have stored energy, then you can transfer connection to your utility, to your Meralco or to your local electric power supply. Okay, so this system, in my example, here you have a solar panel, you have a charge controller here, this black one, and then and the power from the battery goes to your inverter here, and your inverter produces your 220 volts AC for your lights, electric fan, for your TV, charging, and so on and so forth. Now, a 500 watts of this will only cost you 24,500 pesos. Okay? And here is another setup where you can connect in series 2 panels and also connect in series 2 batteries. So now this is a 24 volt setup. Okay? And this one is also the same as the previous slide, except that it make use of what we call an MPPT controller. This MPPT more efficient than this one, than this black one here. This black controller here is what we call a pulse width modulated controller, as compared to this one, which is MPPT. Okay, so the MPPT controller is much more than a pulse width modulated controller, almost double in output. Okay, and here is an example setup of a grid tie system. And here I put here a sample, a hybrid system, meaning to say a combination of a grid tie. These two, this setup here on the right side, which I'm encircling, is a grid tie system, while this setup here on the left side is an off-grid type system. So if you combine the two, then okay, this is another slide, separate slide, where again these two here setup is grid tie, while this one is off grid. So okay, what is the advantage, by the way, of a grid tie? The grid tie, of course, as we mentioned, is it can export to the grid to Meralco excess energy, while the off grid cannot. It is independent, cannot share. In other words, only the grid tie has the capacity to work in a bayanihan way, meaning to say the excess can be exported. But of course, there is also an advantage of the off-grid. In the grid tie, this grid tie inverter, if you happen to install this in a country where typhoon comes to strike it, or there is an earthquake that would disturb then power will be shut off, or there will be a blackout or a brownout. Your grid tie will not function, because the word grid tie means it must be connected to the grid. So if the Meralco is brownout, is blackout, then your grid tie will. Okay, so in this situation, you will be needing a genset. In the off-grid system, then because if you have adequate energy stored in your battery, then no amount of brownout or blackout would put off your power. Only if you run out of battery will your energy from your inverter will stop. So that's why I was mentioning earlier that you can always transfer your supply to the utility. The off-grid system have this transfer switch being. Now today we have a system now that has a combination doing all this. In my appreciation, it's a 5-in-1, meaning to say it works like an inverter, supplying energy here on the right side for your loads at the home, from the solar to the inverter to your load, and it acts like a charge controller to the battery, Okay, and if there is an excess energy, it can also export it to the Meralco or utility. Okay, in case at night time, in the early hours of the morning, the stored energy battery is being reduced, then this inverter will automatically switch on your Meralco to supply the energy to your load. Okay, at a point in time, Meralco will also have a brownout. Then it can also automatically run your genset. Here is your genset. In the next day at 6:30 in the morning, when the sun is already out, 7 o'clock, then solar will again supply the energy. So that's how it is, how this system now functions. So it's just a single assembly of an inverter, which already include a charge controller inside, including a charger, inverter, charger, controller, transfer, a sensor. So it functions like an uninterruptible power supply system. Okay. Here are just the explanation of the different functions. Here's another example where you could also refer in doing estimates. And here is another one. The client already owned panels and batteries, and I just included here additional components like charge controllers, solar charge controllers, inverter here, transfer switch, labor supervision, and so on. And here is full of a quotation. Okay, one lot supply, design, supply, delivery for 3 kilowatt system. Okay, so just follow this guide if you're going to prepare a quotation to your client. Here is another example. Okay, Jose Rizal San Luis. Okay, just a sample, of course. And there is another one, another sample. Engineer Rodolfo R. Duterte. Okay, and there is also another example of a quotation which my company did last year. So that's an example of a quotation which was already approved by the client, and it acts as a contract. Okay, how to make a quick solar estimate. Okay, here is my it fast, no? For those who are non-technical, my advice is for you to use this. The pricing here is as of last year, September 2019 pricing. But how do you use this? Well, say for example, item 8 here, item 8. This first column meaning average monthly electric bill, no? Average monthly electric bill. So the amount here is 4,500 pesos. Average monthly electric bill. You go to the right side here, on the right side, you will note 78,000 pesos here. 78,000 pesos would be the bottom cost of a grid tie system for a 1.5 kilowatts solar set rooftop, no? So 78,000. If you need an off-grid, that means with the battery, then you can budget 117,000. Okay, if you're going to quote it, you have to add a markup into it. Okay, another example. Let's see item 20. This one, item 20 on the left side. The monthly bill is 11,000. So you go to the right side. You would see here for the second to the third to the last column, 20. Okay, so the capacity will be something like 3.8 kilowatts. Okay, 225,000 pesos. If it is with the battery, 281,475. Let's have another example. Line 34. In line 34, 30,000 is the average monthly bill. So you go to the right side, then the budget must be 600,000 pesos. For a 10 kilowatts unit, 600,000 pesos. For grid tie, if it is an off-grid system, 656,100. So this is providing mean for a battery. Okay, so that's how we use this matrix. Okay, And it is our way of looking for the payback. So here it is very conservative. We just assume that only 60% of the monthly savings is being harnessed or is absorbed. No? So 60%, so that will make 2 years by 5 months. But today, with the cost of panels coming down, now I believe it's already less than 2 years. No, if you go grid tie, okay. If you use grid tie system with net metering, I believe your payback or return on investment is than 2 years. Okay. If you have a battery, chances are it will be much higher, much longer, something like 3 years or even more, up to 4 years, 3 to 4 years. Okay. Okay, we included here catalog of suppliers. You can check them. I will included contact numbers here, and here are just the some of the name of the companies. Okay, here we have the numbers here. Here again we have this one. You have numbers here on the left lower portion here, and here there is a number here. Okay, EP Solar, and here's ADW. There's the numbers here. You can contact them. And Sondri here, there's also the numbers here. Okay. And so far, this Ion Solar is the one that has offered the cheapest, the one that I mentioned last January, which offered 5,400, no, for the 300 watts panel. The one included here was their previous price at 5,625, but last January it already went down to 5,400 pesos. Okay, and the contact number is here. Oh, by the way, you will notice that they provide up to 10 years replacement warranty and 10 years efficiency warranty and 25 years 80%. Okay, so still very high for such a very cheap energy power source. Okay, I also included here Trina Solar, so the contact numbers are here below, and JE Solar. Let me see the contact numbers here. Oh, I think there's none. Maybe I missed the contact number. Anyway, here Solaric. There's the number here. Okay. For batteries, you can go to Motolite. Also can go to Metro Green Tech or EP Solar, and ZDW, and so on and so forth. No, 1-point system is also okay. By the way, do not be worried with regards to the battery. No, although economic life of automotive batteries are very short. You know, the one we use in our cars would only last, or they only give a warranty of 1 year to 1.5 years. No, so or 12 months. It's true. No, but the one we use for marine they could last longer, no? Like 1 to 6 years, and the one they use in the golf cart 7 years. Those deep cycle batteries up to 8 years, and others like this model up to 15 years, some of them 20 years. The one they use for telcos up to 20 years, some others are 35 years, some are like NICAD up to 20 years. But the lithium ion of today can last the life of the deep cycle battery. So therefore the lithium ion is the battery of the future. No, this now the one used for the electric vehicles, for the one we see around us, the electric vehicles. No, even Elon Musk of Tesla is using this. Okay, so of course the cost is a little higher, as you would see, higher. Just to compare the lead acid type versus the lithium ion, you would notice that here 15,000 euro or 150 euro per kilowatt hours, but the lithium ion would cost 700 euro per kilowatt hour. So there is a much higher first cost, no? 35,000 euro for the lithium ion, or 50,000 euro for the lead acid. So more than double, more than twice the cost. Okay, but the life of this lithium ion is 4 times longer than the life of the lead acid battery. So I think it's worthwhile if if you are still young and you want to use this lithium ion, have the money, why not? No? Okay, so you can use Motolite batteries, and Amaron is also a good brand. And here's a lithium ion from Solar, Field Solar, and Panasonic. Use this, and then the Solar Home batteries and Victron batteries also available. And you can also include in your business the supply of integrated street lamps, no? So again, we included these various suppliers. Okay, and today these integrated lights are already with provided with LED lamps underneath with solar panel on top, and there is a sandwich battery in between the solar panel and the LED lights, and it is just simply a one assembly like this one already.